Hello, in today's video I'm going to talk about my last video and what I want to change about it. Some of the things that I noticed about how I talk in these videos, and I want to look at how I can improve moving forward. And it took a lot of conscious effort to kind of go through those videos and notice these things, because a lot of them are quite unconscious and the things I want to work on. There's three things in particular that I want to go through. One is the use of unintentional, unconscious words, phrases, sounds that I make just without thinking. The next one is about saying the same thing twice and trying to repeat myself. I'm doing it right now, trying to say the same things twice. So trying to repeat myself and explain the same thing in a different way. It's something I do quite a lot of. And finally, it's how I start and finish videos. There's some things there I would like to improve on as well. So the first one is my unconscious words and phrases and sounds that I make and that I use. And when I look through the videos, it's very clear that these things are just always there. The first thing I noticed is when I pause before speaking, in most cases, there's this before a sentence, so I'll keep going on like this. It's not necessarily the word Sometimes I use the word but in this case, it's quite often almost like a breath like that. It comes in naturally, and it's an audible sound of a pause rather than an actual pause. And when I'm actively thinking about not saying or that sort of thing, I can avoid it because the pause will be there naturally. I also found that there was a lot of words that I would repeat throughout my sentences, and they're useless words that don't add anything to what I'm saying. They're there to, I think, give myself more time to think. And the words that I identified that I kept saying were things like essentially. That essentially means this. That actually means that. That kind of means this. That really means that. And so the word actually, essentially, kinda, really, these are all words that I find were coming up time and time again. So in a 5-minute video, I probably said them 30 times. And I noticed how unconscious it was. I wasn't intentionally using those words, but they came up just in the conversation. The other thing was the word so. A lot of sentences would start with so. Unnecessarily. The sentence could have just started, but I say so. The sentence could have just started. It's this unnecessary word that's there. And on the other end of the back of the sentence, I would tack on the word you know. That's something that I would really like to change. And the frustrating thing about this is that I've been doing Toastmasters since 2010. So 14 years. And I learned about ums and ers and these clutch words in Toastmasters. And there were times where I worked on ums and got rid of them. So they were all gone. And these other ones have crept in and I've been completely oblivious and unaware of them. So now I need to, I'll go with the so. Now I need to work on these and become consciously aware of them, not just in these videos, but also in my day-to-day language when I'm just talking normally, because how I talk to this video is how I talk to people in real life, and I want to change that. The next point is about saying the same thing twice. I find myself questioning whether I was clear on something. See, right now I'm about to do it. So I've just said that. I feel like I'm questioning on, now I feel like that's not clear enough. So then what I'll do is say the same thing, but in a different way. And often what I'll say is, in this case, I'll say, I try to say the same thing twice. What I mean by that is, I will say the same thing in a slightly different way. And I feel like it's unnecessary a lot of the time. If I want to construct my sentence the first time around in the most clear way possible and not be saying something, then saying the same thing another way over and over again. It's unnecessary rambling. It doesn't really add anything, and I want to stop that. I think if I can pick myself up on where I say what I mean by that is, or another way of saying that is, or in other words, this. There may be times where it's appropriate, but I don't want it to be an unconscious thing that I do. I want it to be an intentional, clear thing. I don't want to ramble for extra time unnecessarily. I would love to be short, sharp, concise, to the point, not continuing on and on and on. So even there, I just did it. Short, sharp, to the point. And then I had to add that extra little bit on to, emphasize it. The final thing that I want to work on is how I start videos and how I end videos. I tend to find that the start can be a little bit confusing. I don't really come in strong. It's a little bit weak. It's not clear what I'm going to be talking about. I haven't really given much thought to what I'm going to be saying or how I'm going to, there I go again, to what I'm going to be saying. The other thing is ending the video quite abruptly. I'm just like, okay, so that's it, blah, blah, blah. And then thanks for watching. So I want to come up with a clear way to end the video that is powerful in a way that actually leaves people feeling like they've learned something, like they've watched a worthwhile video, and something that's sincere. I don't know yet where these videos are who's going to be watching them or where they're going to really end up, but I still want to have a clear way, and it's no different from a speech as well. If I'm giving a speech at Toastmasters or in another vicinity, when I get off stage, I want to finish in a nice, powerful, impactful way. I know that at the end I should summarize things and talk about kind of what I've said. I go with kinda. Summarize what I said. In this video, I've gone through the 3 things that I want to work on. There's the unconscious words that I use. The ahs, the ums, the ers. Actually, essentially, these words I'm going to be removing from my vocabulary. I want to never say them unintentionally. I want there always to be a clear and conscious use of those words. I've noticed in this video already I use the word clear a lot, and that's another thing. There's certain words that I gravitate towards, and I continue to use those words over and over. The second thing was saying the same thing twice, so going over it a second time. I just did it in that right there. And of course the final thing is the start and the end of the video. I want to start powerfully, start strong, and most importantly, I want to finish strong. I want to end these videos in an impactful way that actually, in a powerful way that makes the viewer feel good about watching the video. I don't want it to be abrupt and unnecessary where it just feels like, oh, that's the end, bye. So with that, I'm going to finish this video by saying thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to becoming an incredible speaker on camera so that you can enjoy these videos so much more. I can be clearer, more concise, more powerful, more engaging, and you can get more value from these videos.